In the previous video in this playlist, we saw how to do the base installation of Arch Linux, and we also saw how to set up a new user and how to give the new user a password, how to give the new user some pseudo privileges. In this video, we are going to continue from that box. I am going to install a graphical interface using a display server called as the Xorg. It is a very popular display server in the Linux, you can say Linux community, and I'll be pasting links related to that in the description. And with that being said, we should start. But before that, I would like to tell you all about something called the boot order. Well, the boot order is something that the system follows while booting any operating system or anything that is present on a particular piece of hardware that we have inserted inside the system. So generally it is managed via the BIOS settings or the UEFI settings, but on the VirtualBox we can go to the system and we see here that there's an option called boot order, and the system will first boot from floppy disk, then optical disk, and then from the hard disk. So since we have already installed a system on the hard disk, we don't need to boot from the optical disk or the floppy disk, because we have our system already installed on the hard disk. But just for the sake of difference, let me show you what happens. We have already seen what actually happens, what kind of interface is presented to us when we boot from the optical disk. Well, it is not booting from a floppy, because we know it is not booting a floppy, as we have no floppy thing, any floppy hard disk or hard drive, any that kind of system inserted into this particular box. So let me show you what happens just for the sake of difference when we boot from the optical disk. So with that order, the interface that is being presented to us is this one. Yeah, so here we will go down and then hit on boot existing OS, then the grub bootloader will welcome us and things like that. But and it also gives us option to install, but since we have already installed our system on the hard drive, so we'll go ahead. First of all, let me power off this machine. We'll go ahead and change the boot order, uncheck those options of floppy disk and optical disks. I've already unchecked the floppy one, and bring this thing towards up, move it up with this move up button. So it will just boot from hard disk, and the priority of booting from the hard disk is also set up to the top. So let me now start the system, start the box, and we should be welcomed with the grub bootloader that we had installed earlier in the previous video. So there we go, that's a grub. Let me see if I can remember so the last time we added the user named Jack, and let me see if I can remember the password. So we will log in. So what, as I said, we are going to use the Xorg server, right? So Xorg display server, and we are not going to install or download the whole Xorg package, but some of the utilities from it. So they are namely, first of all, let me go ahead and synchronize this. I don't know whether I should be or not, just for the sake, because we should be updating our systems. It is equivalent to apt update. Now let's do the apt install, which is pacman s, sudo pacman s in the Arch. So we're going to install the Xorg server, Xorg-server, Xorg-x init, xorg.x set root, xorg-xrandr for the virtual machines, xrandr. So these are some utilities that we are going to download from the Xorg package. Along with this, you can download a web browser like Firefox. There are many options you can look up on the Arch wiki. There is Chromium also. There is one thing called Qt browser also, which is developed in Python. It is you can say a keyboard based browser. It has a graphical interface, but it works upon the Vim key bindings. So I will go ahead and install the Firefox browser, and I will also, there's a thing called Compositor, and I would like you all to research upon that. I'll also paste some links related to that in the description. And one of the popular compositor is this PyCom, and if we want, we can also do the download. We can also download Nitrogen, which is one package that helps us to you can say manage our wallpapers, to set wallpapers. So let me do this, and we should be good to go. It might take some time. I will choose the default options. Enter. Yes. You can type 5 or just hit enter for the yes. It might be take. Okay. Let's see what happens. I've got a good internet connection today, I think. Hmm. So it has downloaded those packages that we were just talking about. Uh, so if I just go ahead and list, first of all, I'm in the home of Jack, and we can see there are many files and directories: bash history, bash rc, and other directories and files. What we are going to do is, before that, we would also require some basic stuffs like we have downloaded the Xorg display server, but we would also like a window manager, a terminal. So for that, we are going to use the tools from Suckless. I don't know whether it is called organization or what, but there's a thing called Suckless. They develop softwares that are written in C, and they are called Suckless because they claim that they develop software that suck less resources. So they develop some of the names of those softwares that they have developed are DWMST. DWM stands for the dynamic window manager, the Suckless terminal, and there's also a dmenu, which is similar to this thing that we use on the Windows when we press. I mean, it's a program launcher, you can say. So before that, let me go ahead and focus the recording towards this particular window of our box. Mm, I hope it is visible now. Let me enlarge it. So now let me go ahead. So you can yeah, I think it is available, the D menu or something is available. Let me just search for it. So for searching whether a package is available or not, you can do the sudo pacman capital S small s. For searching, you can write sudo, or you can skip that part for this thing, because we are just searching, we are not installing or downloading anything. So if I do sudo pacman -s dash s, the capital S and the small s, and then I think D menu should be present. Yes, there is on the third number, the D menu, but we are going to install it directly from the Suckless, the link that they have provided, where they store their uh, softwares in the form of zipped or archived files. So for that, if I list, there's a .config directory. I'm going to go into that directory. If you want, you can go into that, or you can just download into on the home directory, in the home directory. So I am here. If I do a pwd, I am in the .config directory, and we can list, there are two files here. Are there only two? Yes, there are only two files. Okay, so what we are going to use here is called a wget command. Wget, you can further look upon it. I will also be sharing the links related to that. A wget is a simple command that helps us to download something from the web, files from the web. So let me just check if I have wget or not. So it says wget not found. I can simply install it using the pacman -s wget, and since we are not root, we'll have to use a sudo. And yes, so we must be having wget now. So we will first install we'll first get the archived package of that thing. what is it, DWM. Okay, so the link is suckless.org, https suckless.org/dl/dwm. And there are many versions, but for some patching issues I use this one. The latest one I think is 6.3. I'm using 6.2, and it is connected. It should download now. Not found. Something I might have typed. Suckless.org. Just wait a second. Let me look it up. What the thing is? dl.suckless.org is that, and then DWM. The name is dwm6.tar.gz. What have I written there? Okay, 6.2.tar.gz. Okay, so why is it saying not found? Okay, let me match again. Just a second. Okay. dl.suckless.org. Sorry, so I forgot about that. It's not DL. This is dl.suckless.org, and now we should be downloading it. I hope so. And okay, so it is downloading. If we see here, we can see there's a tar.gz package. Let's also download the ST I was talking about, the simple terminal. You can also download the install the XFCE terminal. Its name is this, and if you do sudo pacman -S, I'm doing the small s too, just for searching whether this is there or not. XFCE4. Okay, XFCE4 was, if I remember. Yeah, so XFCE4 terminal, there came an option about that. If you want to install that, you can do that, but I'm going to install the Suckless terminal by downloading that package, which was on https dl.suckless.org/st/st0.8.3. again, this is not the latest one, but I'm using this one. You can install the latest one if you want, and it should be downloading it anytime now. I don't know, the internet connection is not good. Let's wait for a while. Okay, is it okay? So we have downloaded those two things, the DWM and the ST, the window manager and the Suckless terminal. Let us extract those using the tar xvf, x for extraction, v for verbose, f for the file that we are talking about. It's this one first, then let's do for this one, st, and we can see we have two directories named DWM and ST. We can go ahead and remove those tar files, those archive files, using this remove command. So I'll be removing them. Now let me go into the DWM directory. If I list the contents, we can see there are many files related to C. There's a header file and there's a make file. Since there's a make file, let's do that. Sudo make clean install. If we do this, it should do the work, and a binary should be present here. There's a binary thing. So let's go out, go back our directory, and let's move into the ST, cd st. The same things are present here, just for the configurations are for, and the what they say, yeah, source code is for the Suckless terminal. Let's do the same thing, make clean install, and don't forget the sudo. So it's done, a binary is there too. So it's not done yet. I mean, we have installed a window manager and a terminal, but further we will have to do something else. That is, we have to copy the configuration file for the xinit.rc, which was the xinit that we installed, xor-xinit. So it is present in the etc x11 capital X xinit xinitrc. This is the file xinitrc. We are going to copy it as .xinitrc in the home directory, because that's where we are right now, in the home of the user. Yeah, if I do a listing of all of the things, we can see there's a xinitrc. So what we are going to do now is, you might be remembering we installed NeoVim. If you install Vim, you can go ahead and type Vim. I am typing nvim because I installed NeoVim. We are going to edit this xinitrc, and we are going to go in the very last, and you can either remove or comment these file lines. So I'm doing that, and after that I'll add a comment called I will say DWM window manager, and then manager, then I'll do exec DWM, stands for execute. So that should be it. Let me now do a start X. It's a command. I think that I'm not much aware of all these things, but I think this command starts the calls for the Xorg display manager to start itself up, or whatever the changes have been made in the configuration, load them. So let's do the start X, and you might be able to see something. Let me see whether you are not. Okay, so you might be able to see those things on 1 2 3 4 5 6 things like that. Those are the work stage environments. I think, I don't know what it's called particular. We can move from 2 3 4, we can go anywhere. So the basic key binding here for opening the ST, the simple terminal here, is to do the mod key and the shift and the enter. Generally the mod key is the alt key. So if I do the alt shift enter, I'm greeted with I am presented with a terminal. This is the Success terminal. I can increase the font by doing control shift and page up, and I hope you are that is too much. Let me see if you can see that or not. Yes, you can. So if I do ls, that's too much. And then we are in the home of Jack. Yes. So let me first of all, I would like to say that right now at this point we have successfully installed a type of graphical interface. Now if I do a mod shift q or the alt shift q, I will be out of this environment, this graphical interface, and I just press that, I'm out of that graphical interface. But what mod shift q does or alt shift q does is it restarts the DWM, the window manager. It restarts it. So we have for us, whenever we have to restart the DWM, and for us not to come back to this non-graphical interface, I'm missing some words out here. So if we so that we don't come back here and we stay in that graphical interface, we have to make a while loop in that xinitrc for DWM to keep executing even when we are restarting the DWM, something like that. So let me start X again. We are here back, okay, and let me increase the font, and if you list, we can see there's xinitrc and there's one X authority also that also got automatically generated. We are not going to talk about that. Let me nvim or vim. If you did that, let me edit and go in the last again. And let's make a while loop here. So what we are going to write is while to do DWM. This command is available on the Arch wiki. If you search a little bit, you will find these all things. I got this command out of Arch wiki. This was the thing, and done. Okay, so we have created a while true loop. Now if we refresh or restart the DWM, we should get back into that non-graphical interface for the last time, and then when I do start X and if I restart again, then we would not be getting back there. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me refresh DWM. restart with Alt Shift Q. We are back here. Let me one last time do the start X. And now if I do Alt Shift Q, you can see something is happening. That is, the DWM is getting restarted, but we are not going back there. I mean, if you are restarting the DWM, you will not be going back there. Okay, so now let me just, I'm not going to increase this video. I'm just going to change the font size. It's very small. Let us just go and configure the font size. So since this is written in C, so we will have to edit a C file, and it will be there in the ST that we just installed. Let me list and increase the font. We will go into the config where we downloaded that ST thing. We'll go into the ST. Since we are increasing the size, there's a config.def.h. if you can see this one. Can you see? Let me see if you can see. So you can see. Okay, so there's this config.def.h and there's a config.h. So generally when we do make clean install, it takes things from config.h, but we are going to do edit the config.def.h first of all. So config.def.h, this thing, the header file, and we on the very first lines we can see there are some comments. There's one thing, this font, star font. So here it is 12. I had experimented a little bit before and I know that 17 should be good enough. So I'll write in quit, and let me, okay, I didn't tell you how to close the terminal or any application. If you open any application and if you have to close it, you can do Alt Shift C and it will get closed. Now let me open the terminal again with Alt Shift Enter, which is the mod key, and we can change the mod key to Windows or Alt or whatever we want. I'll show you in the next video. For this video I think I should end it here only. So if you were able to do this, then congratulations. And if you were not able to do this, I'm not able to speak properly today. If you were not able to do this, if you are not able, if you're not getting interface like this, or you had any kind of problem, you can comment down the problem, and also you can research. There are many other videos also related to this. If you want, you can look at them and do your own research. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Let me power off it. Okay, thank you.